2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 5 is...
This is how a teacher from a village built a $22 billion empire and lost it all. In 2022, this man was worth $3 billion. His company was worth $22 billion, bigger than any education company on earth. His logo was on the Indian cricket team, on the World Cup, on the biggest movie star in India. Today, his company is worth zero. He is in hiding in Dubai. His investors have lost $12 billion. And somewhere in India tonight, a farmer is still paying a loan for a product that stopped working 2 years ago. This is how a maths teacher from a village built the biggest education company in the world and destroyed it in 24 months. Stay until the end, because the way this collapsed will change how you look at every startup story you have ever been told. Byju Raveendran was born in 1980 in a small village in Kerala, southern India. His parents were both school teachers. He was not rich. He was not connected. He was not even particularly interested in school. He preferred football, cricket, anything but a textbook. He would skip class and teach himself at home, at night, on his own terms. He got into engineering college, got a good corporate job with a British shipping company. And then, in 2003, on a holiday back home, everything changed. His friends were preparing for the toughest business school entrance exam in India. They asked him for help. He sat with them and taught them. Then he took the exam himself, just as a challenge. He scored a perfect 100 percentile. He sat it again. Perfect score again. 3 times he sat it. 3 times he was perfect. Word spread. Students begged him to teach them. Within 2 years, he was flying between cities every weekend, teaching in cricket stadiums to crowds of 20,000 students at a time. He had done it with no advertising, no investors, no degree in education, just a phone number and a talent for making difficult things feel simple. And in 2011, he made the decision that would change his life. In 2011, Byju, his wife Divya, and his brother Raju started a company called Think and Learn. The idea was simple. Take what Byju was doing in stadiums and put it in every child's pocket. For 4 years, they built quietly. Then in August 2015, they launched the BYJU'S learning app. It was unlike anything Indian parents had seen. Cinematic animations, real-world examples, video lessons for every subject, from age 8 to 18. 1 month after launch, Sequoia Capital, the legendary Silicon Valley fund that had backed Apple and Google, invested $75 million. Mark Zuckerberg's foundation invested next. Then came the flood. BlackRock, Tencent, the Qatar Investment Authority. Between 2015 and 2020, BYJU'S raised billions. Its valuation climbed from a few $100 million to $11 billion. Byju Raveendran became India's youngest self-made billionaire. He was on every magazine cover, every business channel, the face of the new India. He signed the biggest movie star in India, Shah Rukh Khan, as brand ambassador. He put his logo on the Indian national cricket team. Every fan, every match, every day, BYJU'S was everywhere. And then in March 2020, the world shut down. And BYJU'S got the biggest gift a company can ever receive. COVID hit India harder than almost anywhere else. 250 million students were locked out of school. Overnight, BYJU'S made its content free. Downloads exploded. Users went from 40 million to 80 million in a matter of months. Paid subscribers grew by millions. Global investors, terrified of missing the pandemic education boom, threw money at BYJU'S. The valuation exploded from $11 billion to $22 billion in 18 months. And BYJU'S went on a shopping spree unlike anything Indian business had ever seen. In under 2 years, it spent $2.5 billion buying other education companies. White Hat Jr., Akash, Epic, Great Learning, Topper. If it taught anything to anyone, BYJU'S bought it. By 2022, BYJU'S was an official FIFA World Cup sponsor. Its logo was seen by 1.5 billion people. It was preparing for what analysts predicted would be one of the largest tech IPOs in history. Byju Raveendran was on top of the world. And nobody, not the investors, not the auditors, not the board, was ready to ask the one question that would bring it all down. Because behind the animations and the cricket sponsorships, BYJU'S had built one of the most aggressive sales operations in India. Thousands of commission-based salespeople, cold calls day and night, home visits, and a pitch designed to weaponize the deepest emotion in Indian society, parental guilt. If you loved your child, if you wanted them to succeed, you would sign. And here is what almost nobody outside India knew. BYJU'S did not just sell subscriptions. It sold loans. Loans arranged through third-party lenders. Multi-year contracts with interest. Sold to families earning less than 20,000 rupees a month, around $240. For products costing 60,000 rupees or more. Many of these children never used the app meaningfully, but the loans continued, every month, for years, to families who could not afford food. And when parents tried to cancel, they discovered the truth. Cancellation was almost impossible. Refunds were denied. The loans were legally binding, whether the product worked or not. Complaints piled up. The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights began investigating. Consumer forums filled with stories of harassment and financial ruin. But the money kept flowing. The valuation kept climbing. And nobody in the boardroom wanted to hear it. Under Indian law, Byjus' audited financial statements for the year ending March 2020 were due by September 2020. They never came. Months turned into a year, then 18 months. The most valuable startup in India had failed to file its audited accounts. Regulators started asking questions. Investors started getting nervous. Behind the scenes, Deloitte, the auditor, was in a serious dispute with Byjus over how the company was recognizing revenue. Byjus was counting multi-year subscriptions as revenue up front, instead of over time. When the audit finally arrived, 18 months late, the numbers were catastrophic. Losses had ballooned 20 times over, to roughly $560 million in a single year. The story Byjus had been telling investors of near profitability and imminent IPO was, quite simply, not true, and it was about to get much worse. In November 2021, Byjus borrowed $1.2 billion from a group of American lenders. It was one of the biggest loans ever taken by an Indian startup. Byjus spent it fast. Acquisitions, marketing, sponsorships. And when Byjus failed to file its audits, it triggered a breach of the loan. The lenders demanded their money back. Then came the accusation that made this story international news. The lenders alleged that Byjus had taken $533 million out of the American subsidiary and hidden it. The money was allegedly transferred to a hedge fund called Camshaft Capital, operating out of what looked like a Miami pancake restaurant, run by a young financier with no public track record. A Delaware court ordered Byjus Raveendran to reveal where the money was. He refused. He was held in contempt. And to this day, that $500 million has never been publicly recovered. On the 22nd of June, 2023, in a single day, every independent director on Byjus' board resigned. So did Deloitte, the auditor. For resignations in one day. In corporate governance terms, this is code for something is fundamentally, catastrophically broken. BlackRock wrote its Byjus stake down from $22 billion to under $3 billion, then to zero. Prosus wrote it off completely. Publicly, Byjus began laying off employees on a massive scale. 10,000, 20,000. Estimates suggest over 35,000 jobs lost in 18 months. Salaries were delayed, then unpaid. In April 2023, Indian financial crime authorities raided Byjus' headquarters. In February 2024, shareholders voted to remove Byjus Raveendran as CEO. He rejected the vote. The company went to war with itself. In July 2024, Byjus officially entered insolvency proceedings, triggered by an unpaid bill to the Indian Cricket Board. The company that had put its logo on the World Cup could not pay its sponsorship dues. Byjus Raveendran fled to Dubai, wanted for questioning, under lookout notices from Indian authorities, facing lawsuits on 3 continents. The founder of India's most valuable startup, now unable to return home. But while lawyers fought in courtrooms, another story was playing out in millions of Indian homes. The families who took loans through Byjus' third-party lenders were still being asked to pay, even when the app stopped working, even when the promised tutors never showed up, even when the child never used the product. Journalists documented cases that were genuinely shocking. Farmers earning 8,000 rupees a month signed up for 60,000 rupee subscriptions. Daily wage workers giving up a third of their income for years, all for a product that would collapse before their loan was paid off. This is the part of the Byjus story that never makes the business news. Because when a startup collapses, journalists count the investor losses. But nobody counts the families. Byjus Raveendran was born in a village. He became a billionaire. Then he lost it all in less than 2 years. Not because his product was worthless, not because he was not talented, but because ambition ate the mission. Growth ate the ethics. And nobody in the room could say stop. Byjus did not fail because of a competitor. It failed because it forgot what it was selling. When you sell to parents, you are not selling a product. You are selling a promise about their child. And when you break that promise, no valuation on earth can save you. This is billion-dollar blunders. Every week, I take one giant, open it up, and show you exactly where it rotted from the inside. Subscribe, because the next empire is already falling. Tell me in the comments which company should die next. Nokia, Kodak, Enron, WeWork, FTX. I read every single one. The video on your screen right now is the one people watch next, and honestly, it is worse than this one. Every empire falls. Most of them do it to themselves. Byjus did it faster than most, and hurt more people on the way down than almost anyone.